Gentlemen, Harry, Niall, Zayn, Louis, Liam, One Direction, all on one sofa.
Yeah, finally. Charlie.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Not bad at all. Is there anything you'd like to say? Sometimes it's nice, you know, you're getting a lot of publicity at the moment and you're getting asked all the questions. Anything you want to tell the world?
I'll tell you what, Kellogg's should do Cocoa Pops and Frosties together in one cereal package.
I'm sure
there's loads of things I've got to say now, but I can't think of any.
I was hoping for something that was a bit
I've got
less...
something to say. We have a movie coming out.
Have a dramatic life change.
Just look at that, like it's absolutely amazing.
Now, some people might think that the last thing you want, when you've got all the publicity you already have and the attention, is cameras kind of behind the scenes as well. What was that like?
To be honest with you, being on X Factor and that, we were kind of used to having cameras following us around at every moment, so it was kind of a normal thing for us and kind of took us back to the start a little bit.
The hardest thing about the travel is missing home and missing family, but we become literally like brothers now.
He goes away for so long, I never know where he is in the world.
One of the things that we do see is we see your family. Yeah. We see your mums and dads, and it's really touching, not least because they're very honest and they say there's something, I can't remember whose mum or dad said it, is a little bit sad. It's almost like they kind of lost you for a period of time because you're away so much.
I think it might have been my dad who said that.
Yeah?
The old man, bless him. No, it was for me. That was like it was a bit difficult to watch because obviously I don't really hear like any like he's always so happy when I see him like and happy to have me home and stuff. To actually see what he's like when I'm not there was a bit mad.
Yeah, and is it tough on all your families? I mean, there's a great side to all this because you're doing fantastically.
It's lovely. Thank you for what you've done for us.
I'm so proud of you.
Well, get off the phone then before I start crying.
It is tough, I think, for him just to say goodbye because, you know, a lot of families anticipate that once you get to 18, you go to university and you know, mothers know that that's the day, you know, that. Whereas for us, it kind of just happened out of the blue and our mums just had to wave goodbye to us on the X Factor. So I think it was a lot for them to take in at first, but, you know, obviously they all just love it, don't they?
That's my favourite hair on Liam. I miss my son so much. Sorry.
Whose parents worry the most?
I'm going to say my mother is the biggest worrier in the world.
Yeah,
she just non-stop cries 24/7. So.
Really?
I don't think in the last 3 years I've seen Karen Payne without tears.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, because every time Liam gets a new tattoo, you know, it's not good.
Well, she came to tattoo parlour with me today.
That was a real
moment for me. But my dad said to me, he was like, she can't say anything now, so I can get as many tattoos as I want.
I know they love me, even they don't know me. I love you, One Direction!
Can I talk to you about the fans? Because you are very gracious in the film about your fans, how much you owe to them, because they were with you right at the beginning, followed you through. They are a remarkable breed, your fans, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they're so dedicated and literally, I mean, you can see the time that they're putting into Twitter and sometimes you see when people leave a tweet and how many times they've posted that tweet and it's like some crazy number, they've just been sat there all night. And for us it's a bit mad, but that's the main thing about this film is just to show that, you know, our fans are the people who put us where we are.
When you come somewhere completely new, it's really exciting.
You'll be aware that there was a documentary film made about fans, which showed some who really take it to great lengths. And there's a side to being a big fan of any individual artist or a band, which borders on the obsessive. Do you ever worry about how much?
I think people, especially at you know this age, like they're all kind of the same kind of age as us, and I think you know when you're at that age, you're passionate about everything. You remember like your first girlfriend at school when you're like 13, you convince yourself that you love her. And
life is a little bit more serious in a way. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Everything's a bit more of a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think looking in, not everyone can understand it, but to, you know, that girl or that boy, it might be the most important thing in the world, and just because, you know, we don't understand it doesn't mean you can say it's crazy. So.
Yeah, I don't think it should be something that's taken as a negative, you know. I think passion's good in any form.
Can I ask you, people are always fascinated, and you'll know this, about the Simon Cowell factor, if I can call it that. Quite what the role is.
We're allowed to talk about him.
They're looking to the people over there. But just give us a sense, because some people think he's like this sort of figure behind, like the puppet master. He's sort of controlling you from behind. And well, so how does it work, really? I mean, how often do you talk? What's the relationship like?
You know, he's still obviously heavily involved, and you know, once there's an important decision to be made, like in regards to, you know, the music, for example, we would then speak to Simon and you know, kind of come to an agreement together.
A lot of conference calls.
Yeah.
They're always awkward conference calls as well, because there's always someone who can't hear.
Yeah, there's always that, yeah.
But I'm intrigued
He's a very
because
clever man.
yeah, because you're all strong characters in yourselves. Do you ever clash? Are there ever clashes? You know, in terms of management and the band and.
I think in any group of people there are always clashes, but to be honest with you, surprisingly enough, we don't clash as much as before I entered the band I thought we would have, sort of thing. I think
No way.
not at all. Like, nowhere near. It's so strange actually, because we didn't know each other 3 years ago, and now we just kind of get on and we have a good time 24/7. So hey.
Like choreographed dance routines.
Okay, on the top. We're normal people doing this abnormal job.
They're a bit tight.
We're at a stage now where, you know, we know what people like, we know what people don't like, and if we like it, we get on with it, and if we don't like it, we just get on with it.
I can't help but think.
Basically, just get on with it.
I can't help but think, looking at the way you are, and obviously, naturally, are really good mates now. That must be a real help.
Well, they're not.
As if to prove it.
Left out here, guys.
But that must be a real help when the publicity gets too much, or when there's one day when you don't want the cameras in your face. It must help to have, you know, 4 other guys who are going through the same thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, because 99% of the time, if you can't be bothered to do it, nobody can there. So it makes you feel a little bit better.
Because I would imagine any 19 or 20-year-old, the thought of being scrutinised the way you are now would be a nightmare.
Yeah, no, I think it's hard, but we're all kind of going for the same thing together, and there's that many good things happening in our lives. I mean, sometimes you just don't really pay attention to it.
You have to weigh up the pros and cons, and it becomes a no-brainer.
It's funny. That's a very good answer.
Tell you what, congratulations on that answer. That's fantastic.
It's a good answer. I interviewed Rod Stewart a little while ago, and one of the things he said.
But he was dropping names.
Sorry, I'm name dropping, and I think you've met him, haven't you, Harry?
I have.
And one of the things he said to me, we talked about the sort of publicity he had when he was younger, and the life he led, and the stuff he got up to. And one of the things he said was, do you know what? I really wouldn't want to be a young star today with the scrutiny that comes with it all.
Wow, that's interesting.
Do you know, the thing is that, not that we do, because we don't, but I think if you were up to no good,
Started making trouble in my neighbourhood. I got in one little fight and my mom got scared. She said, you're moving with him?
moving with the auntie
and uncle in Bel Air.
In Bel Air, I think that's what it was.
No, Belfast.
What are you saying? Sorry, brother.
I reckon it would have been a lot easier to do back then. Because now, if someone saw you somewhere and you
camera
did something that you shouldn't be, then someone would know by like in a week's time, whereas now, straight on the old social media.
Yeah, like imagine you could go from now back then.
Yeah.
You'd be like,
Yeah,
God,
great-
I
yeah, great
could get
taste.
away with anything.
I hate to interrupt, fellas, but your people are telling us it's over.
We'd stay all day. If it was up to us, we'd stay all day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.